Welcome po kayo ulit sa bagong episode ng Pinoy HR. Sa part 1, pinag-usapan natin ang mga sumusunod. Brief history at labor code reference ng DO 174. Concept, guiding principles and coverage ng contractualization. Mahalagang termino na dapat familiar ka tulad ng contractor, principal, at contractor-subcontractor employee. Ano ang labor-only contracting? Bakit hindi pinapayagan ito at paano makikilala ito? Kung hindi mo pa napanood ito, click mo lang ang notification sa itaas. Mahanap mo rin ang link sa end card sa dulo at sa comment section sa ibaba. Dito naman sa part 2, pag-uusapan natin ang mga sumusunod. Consequences para sa mga employer kapag napatunayan na labor-only contracting ang kanilang scheme. Ano ang pinapayagang arrangement para sa contractualization? Ano ang mga rights ng contractual employees? Sino ang liable kapag nagkaroon ng labor issues ang mga employees? Ano dapat ang makikita sa inyong employment contract? Ano ang mangyayari kapag napatunayan na nalabag ang rights of employees? Paano kung kailangan mag-terminate ng employment contract? May separation pay ba? Anong mangyayari sa contract mo kapag nagkaproblema sa registration ang contractor-employer mo? Ano pang mga proteksyon ang nakapaloob sa DO 174 para sa mga contractor, subcontractor, employee? Kaya simulan na natin ang part 2. Ngayon, paano kung ayon sa findings, napatunayan na nalabag ng isang employer ang Section 5 at Section 6 na binanggit natin kanina? Sinasagot yan ng Section 7. If there is a finding that is the principal engaged in labor-only contracting under the Section 5 and 6 of these rules, ang may full liability na ngayon para sa lahat ng employment rights ay magiging ang principal dahil magiging direct employer na siya ng mga contractor employees. Ano lang ang pinapayagan sa mga ganitong arrangements? Sa Section 8, binabanggit dito ang mga permissible arrangements. Unang-una, ang contractor ay dapat na engage in a distinct and independent business and undertakes the job of its own responsibilities according to its manner and method. Pangalawa, the contractor has the substantial capital to carry out the job farmed out by the principal on his account. Ang contractor ang magpo-provide ng mga equipment and tools, machineries and supervision at may sapat silang capital para dito. Pangatlo, the performance of work farmed out by the principal is free from the control and or direction of the principal in all manner connected with the performance of the work except as to the results, and the service agreement ensures compliance with all rights and benefits for all the employees of the contractor under the labor law. Sinong magiging liable kapag nagkaroon ng mga problema katulad ng labor disputes? Sa Section 9, pinapaliwanag din ang solidary liability. Sa Section 3K, ang definition ng solidary liability refers to the liability of the principal pursuant to Article 109 of the Labor Code as direct employer together with the contractor for any violation of any provision of the Labor Code. Sabi doon, both principal and the contractor are liable in the event there is a violation of the labor code like payment of wages in the purpose for enforcing the labor code provision, social legislation to the extent of the work performed under the employment contract. Ano pa ang mga karapatan mo bilang contractor, subcontractor, employee? Sa Section 10, pinapaliwanag ang rights of the contractor employees. Meron kang entitlement of security of tenure and all rights and privileges as provided by the Labor Code as amended, including the following. Una, safe and helpful working conditions. Pangalawa, labor standards such as but not limited to service incentive leaves, rest days, overtime pay, holiday pay, 13th month pay, and separation pay. Meron ka ring retirement benefits under the SSS or retirement plan of the contractor. Kasama din dyan ang Social Security and welfare benefits. At lastly, pwede rin ang self-organization, collective bargaining agreement, and peaceful concerted activities including the right to strike. Dapat din na may malinaw na employment contract ang isang contractor, subcontractor employee sa pagitan nila ng kanyang contractor. Sa Section 11, kung saan pinapaliwanag ang required contract, binabanggit doon na employment contract between contractor and its employee governed by Article 294 and 295 of the Labor Code as amended, including the provision of General Labor Standard, it shall include the following: a specific description of the job to be performed by the employee, place of work, and terms and condition of employment, including statement of wage rate applicable to the individual employee. The contractor shall inform the employee of the stipulation in writing before the first day of employment. Paano kung may violation alinman sa mga binanggit sa Section 10 and 11? Well, kung ganon, binabanggit ng Section 12 regarding sa effect of violation of the provision of the rights of contractor employees and required contract na any findings of violation in Section 10 or 11 shall render the principal as the direct employer as per Article 109 of the Labor Code as amended. Kaya kapag hindi nasunod ang mga provisions sa Section 10 and 11, magiging direct employee ka ng principal employer. Paano naman kung kailangan i-terminate ang employment? Sa Section 13, nililinaw ang effect of termination of employment. Kapag ang termination of contract ay prior the expiration of the service agreement, ito ay magiging governed by Article 297, 298, and 299 of the Labor Code. Yung 297, ito yung mga termination because of the just cause. While yung 298 and 299 are considered authorized cause. So if the termination is caused by pre-termination of the service agreement and not due to the authorized cause under the said Article 298, the right of the contractor employee to unpaid wages and other unpaid benefits, including unremitted legal mandatory contributions like SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig, kasama dyan ang ECC, shall be borne by the party at fault without the prejudice to the solidary liability of the parties of the service agreement. Pero kung ang termination is a result from the expiration of the service agreement or from the completion of the phase of the job, the employee may wait for re-employment within 3 months to resign and transfer to another contractor employer. Pero, failure of the contractor to provide new employment to employee shall entitle to payment of separation benefit as may be provided by law or the service agreement, whichever is higher. And any entitlement, the expiration of agreement shall not be deemed termination of employment of the contractor employee who are their regular employee. Tandaan din na dapat na properly registered ang contracting employer. Kapag hindi na i-register ang isang contracting company, si principal ang magiging employer ni contractor employee. Kasi binabanggit sa Section 14 na mandatory registration and registry of legitimate contractor na failure to register shall give rise to the presumption that the contractor is engaged in labor-only contracting. Pwedeng makancel ang registration ng isang contracting company. Sa Section 23, na grounds for cancellation of registration, binabanggit ang mga ganito. Halimbawa, misrepresentation of facts or falsified or tampered application or supporting documents to the application. Ganon din yung non-submission of service agreement between the principal and contractor. Non-submission din ang annual required na reports. Final findings of the contractor engaging in labor-only contracting and or other illicit form of employment arrangement in Section 6. Non-compliance in labor standards and working conditions. Finding of violation of Section 10 and 11. Non-compliance with SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, HDMF, and ECC laws, collecting unauthorized fees not authorized by law and other applicable rules and regulations, and violation of any provision of the Labor Code. Anong epekto nito sa contracting company? Sa Section 26, the effect of cancellation of registration, binabanggit doon na ito ay magiging ground to deny any renewal in the future. And any of the officers shall not be allowed to operate and apply new registration. Di na sila pwedeng magnegosyo ng contracting company. Pero it will not impair the validity of existing legitimate job contracting arrangement. This will be respected until expiration. Pero after that, contracting with a delisted contractor shall make the principal the direct employer of the employee. Pwede ka ba nilang pag-initan o bawasan ng sahod, alisin sa trabaho o i-discriminate kung sakaling nagreklamo ka sa DOLE? Sa Section 27, which is retaliation measure, it shall be unlawful for the principal or contractor to refuse to pay or reduce the wages and benefits and discharge or in any manner discriminate against any worker who has filed any complaint. Kaya yan lahat ang kabuuan ng mga karapatan ng isang contractor-employee. Sana nakinabang kayo sa maikling review na ito. Mag-like at mag-subscribe ka sa aking channel. Hanggang sa muli, ito ang inyong Pinoy HR, Manny G.